Okay, the webinar is now broadcasting to all attendees, and it looks like there's one attendee. Let's see, that's Lisette Oliva, who works at the State Bar. Lisette, you're probably muted, but there is a public, well, I guess type that you have a question during the public comment if you'd like to make a public comment.
All right, so the time is 2 o'clock. It looks like we have a quorum. Jennifer, could you call the roll, please?
Yeah, let's see. Larry Chung. Justin Delacruz.
Here.
Tracy Lesage. You might be muted.
I'm muted. I'm here.
Okay. Phil Spiegel. James Hiding.
Here.
Kelly Ranasinghe.
Present.
Stephanie Patterson.
I'm here. I'm on the phone, everybody.
Thank you. Martin Williams.
Here.
Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 in attendance out of 8, Justin.
Oh, all right, great, thank you. Moving on to item C, oral report. There is none from me. Section 2, item A, approval of the minutes for March 27th, 2020 meeting. If you haven't already, please take a look at those minutes, and we'll entertain a motion regarding those minutes once you've had a chance to review them. Hi, Dag.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Long time.
It has been a long time.
It's been a pandemic or so since I last saw you.
Were those minutes sent out to everybody?
They are, I don't know, but they are attached to the agenda, which I will.
They're sent to everyone through a Lyris email message. There's a link to the meeting page, and then when you click on the meeting page that's on the State Bar website, it has the minutes attached when you click on them.
Okay, my favorite. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I can email them to you right now if you'd like.
Sure, that'd be great.
Okay.
I also just put a link into the chat for the
okay,
agenda.
that's a better idea.
And you could also pull the link from the agenda.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Hey, could I ask a question about those links? Does content in the chat disappear when the meeting ends? Is there any way to save it?
I think the meeting's being recorded. I'm not sure about saving the chat.
I believe you can save it to your own machine, whatever you're talking on your desktop.
You would have, if you're not the host, I believe you would have to like copy and paste.
Okay.
Whatever
so I got
want.
to do that before the meeting ends if I want to save it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The bottom corner, there's a box with 3 dots, at least on the desktop there is. It's on a phone, I'm not sure. And it says save chat. That's the first
Yeah,
box.
I got it.
I just clicked chat save, but I don't know if that will just do what's there already or if it will do the whole thing. But I'll try to also click chat saved at the end of the meeting.
Okay. Thank you.
And if there's something you want, we can always send it to you separately.
Okay. Thank you.
In the chat, I posted a link to the meeting page, and if you go click on our meeting and then click on the minutes, you should be able to see them.
Okay.
The meeting is the very first meeting, meeting agenda lawyer assistance program. And then when you scroll down to consent A and click on approval of minutes from March 27th, then click on minutes from March 27th. Then it comes up slowly as a PDF.
All right, thanks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've had a chance to review the minutes, we'll entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second that motion.
All right. Anyone need further time? Okay. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye. Or let's do a roll call vote.
Justin Delacruz,
Aye.
Tracy Lesage,
Aye.
James Hiding. You're muted. Are you still looking through the minutes?
Sorry, I muted myself because the printer was going. Aye.
Stephanie Patterson,
Aye.
Martin Williams.
Aye.
Is everyone okay with first names, or do I formally have to use first and last names for these roll calls?
First name's okay.
First,
Thank you.
good for me.
Works for me.
Yay.
First
First
is
is
fine.
fine.
Is that everyone?
Yep.
Did you get Kelly's?
No, but I agree.
Sorry about that, Kelly.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's okay.
So the minutes are so approved. And sorry, jumping around here, I missed public comment. So for anyone who's here would like to speak on an item of the agenda who's a member of the public, I'll limit your time to 2 minutes. Is there anyone who would like to speak on any item of the agenda who's a member of the public?
Justin, we have one attendee who works for the state bar. Let me see if I can send her a message to see if she has a public comment. Let's see.
Okay, well, for purposes of filling up some time, maybe we could have some of our non-member state bar employees, state bar workers introduce themselves, especially for Stephanie, who's on the phone and can't see everyone. So just feel free to introduce yourself to the rest of the board and to Stephanie.
Justin, do you mind if I ask Lizette and also Judge
I think
Purcell?
we have a note from her, Jennifer, that she doesn't have any public comment on the chat.
Okay. Oh, okay. Same from Lizette, and then Judge Purcell just joined. Do you want me to allow her to talk so we can ask her if she has any public comment?
Sure.
Judge Purcell, I think, I'm not sure if you're muted. This is Jennifer Cantori, and we'd like to know if you have any comments for the meeting.
No, I don't. I just came on, I'm sorry. And so I don't. I just thought I would join to update myself on what has been going on.
Okay, thank you, Judge Purcell.
It's great to have you, Judge Purcell.
Thank you. I can't see any of, I mean, I can't, am I in a webinar, or I don't know where I am?
Well, you're in a Zoom webinar. There are about 11 panelists consisting of some of our new Lawyer Assistance Program Oversight Committee members and some
Right.
not so new ones. And then a few other employees from the State Bar. You have Michelle Harmon, Lori Mellock, Lita Bella, and Jennifer Cantori,
Okay.
as well as DAG.
The reason I ask that is just because mine says Zoom webinar up at the top, and I just, I'm only seeing one person at a time, but I don't even know if you can see me or maybe just my name, right?
We can only see your name.
Okay, okay, great. Sorry to interrupt like that. Thank you very much.
More than welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Sure.
Okay, so it sounds like there is no public comment.
Okay.
Did you still want us to do introductions, Justin?
Yeah, please. Just to kind of ingrain in ourselves who's who and what they do and the relation to the program. I think that'd be really helpful for all of us.
Justin, do you want the staff to do that and the committee, or just the staff, or?
Just the staff, just the staff.
Okay, so why don't we go alphabetically by last name. Lita Abella.
Hello, everybody. My name is Lita Abella. I'm the Senior Program Analyst. I conduct outreach for the Lawyer Assistance Program.
Okay, Michelle Harmon.
I'm Michelle Harmon. I'm the Program Supervisor. And I think you skipped yourself, Jennifer. You can introduce yourself too.
I am the program, well, I guess the committee coordinator. And I've been with the State Bar for 8 years, and I love working here, and I love working with this committee. Next would be Lori Mellock, unless Michelle had more to say.
I do not.
Good afternoon, I'm Lori Mellock. I'm the Program Director of the Office of Professional Support and Client Protection, which includes the Client Security Fund, the Office of Case Management and Supervision, which is probation, and the mandatory side of the LAP, and the Lawyer Assistance Program. And I work with and supervise Michelle. I'm happy to work with all of you. Thank you.
And we have Dag McLeod.
I am the Chief of Mission Advancement and Accountability. I am standing in for Donna Hershkowitz, who is the Chief of Programs, which is the division in which the Lawyer Assistance Program resides. And when Donna stops being the interim director and becomes the regular director, or when she returns to being the Chief of Programs, I will no longer be here, but in the meantime, I have had some experience with LAP, and it's good to be back. So I'm good to hear that you're continuing to do the good work that you do.
All right. Doug, there's like some very like Jedi kind of Star Wars lighting going on with your Zoom. It's very Obi-Wan Kenobi like.
So we can try this. The problem with my So this is why I always put a virtual background. The way that my desk is set up, there it is. So there is. Don't go to the light.
It was sort of holographic when you have the greenery behind you.
It makes my head sort of like stick out too. It's all very disconcerting.
I think we forgot to let Lizette introduce herself. She's also a State Bar staff.
Oh, hold on.
employee.
I have to allow her to talk. Okay, you might be muted yourself, but
There, am I unmuted?
Yeah.
Okay, hi, I'm Lizette. I'm a program coordinator with communications, and I work with LAP, so I want to just learn more about it.
Thanks for being on the Zoom webinar, Lizette.
Yeah, of course. Thank
Welcome,
you,
Lizette.
guys. Thank you.
And maybe if Judge Purcell could reintroduce herself. We have some new committee members just for their education. That would be helpful.
Yes, I'm so sorry that I can't get my picture up for some reason here. I usually can, or I would certainly appear in person. I feel like maybe I should call back and try, but my name is Judge Catherine Purcell, and I am the presiding judge of the State Bar Court for the last about 6 years. And I have been attending in the past, when we had them in person, the meetings as an invited guest, and I'm very interested in everything that's going on with the committee and with LAP. As some of you know, or all of you know, it's a very integral part of the issues that come up for a lot of respondents, including our ADP program, Alternative Discipline Program at the Hearing Department. So I'm very interested in attorney wellness and judicial wellness and staff wellness, and have spoken about it quite a bit. And so I'm just very pleased to be here. I haven't been able to attend in a while and have an update, and I think it's extremely important work that you do. So thank you, and thank you for allowing me to be here.
Thank you, Judge Purcell, and thanks everyone for introducing yourselves, and it's good to see your faces for sure. Moving on to the staff report and recent developments, I'll turn it over to Michelle.
Thanks. If you don't mind, these two items, A and B, will probably be collapsed because the recent developments are a lot about COVID-19. The last thing I think that you all were updated on at our last meeting is we were talking about the problems with urine testing and trying to find another way to have people do their testing if it's required on further monitoring while we're all safer at home and being quarantined. So we ended up finding a great solution. They, let's see. This was in about like the mid-end of April. Our contractor, FS Solutions, was able to implement an oral fluid testing And so far, it seems to be really great, actually, for the people who are opting to do that. Some people are still opting to do the urine testing because maybe that's what they're most comfortable with. The cost is pretty comparable. It's a little more expensive, but it's a process where they get their message that they need to test as usual, and then they call in, log into a system like this. So it's kind of like a Zoom meeting with the collector, and they have to have all their paperwork ready, and a bottle of water and a flashlight, and they somehow look in the person's mouth, have them put the saliva in the vial, watch them seal it up, and they can send it off at a FedEx location, or if they feel like they don't need a receipt and don't want to be in contact with any people, they can also get the US Post mailers and just put it in their mailbox going out, so you don't have to be in physical contact with any other person to do it. And we have not had any problems so far with people not returning the mailers or things that seem like it would be the participants. You know, there's always issues of people not coming in when they're supposed to, or they're not turning in, they're not getting the collection stuff in time. But basically, it's been going very smoothly. And let's see, we do have a few people who are still doing the urine testing. So besides that, everything with just the actual program operation is still the same as it was last time we talked. We're still doing our LAP support groups online. So the LAP groups, all the group facilitators are, by now very comfortable with doing their groups online. Participants are on board with that. Obviously, there are people who've wanted to be online all along, so we don't have the transportation problems. And also it gives people a wider selection of when they can attend a group, because if the group in their area is only one night of the week, if they can't make it, we're able to make exceptions and have them go to an online group someplace else at a different time. So that's been working really well. Staff are still telecommuting, although we're back in the office one day a week now if necessary. We don't need to be exposed if it's not necessary, but if there are things to do in the office, luckily we're so small that at least in the 865 FIG office, there's only 5 of us who are stationed in there, and there's 5 days a week, so we each have our day to go in. That's the COVID-19 update. If anybody has any questions about that, I can answer them. Otherwise, I will also give you our other recent developments. Doing nothing yet, but you can interrupt me if you'd like. The most exciting thing was that Lita was able to work with the Office of Admissions to get them to send out an email for us talking about our services to all of the people who have had their files active in the past 5 years. So the law students who have registered and those people who are registered to take the bar exam. And it was sent out to 25,000, just over 25,000 people. And we got a letter from an email saying, what it says. So they measure the success of an email by the number of people who open, so it's the email open rate, and the number of people who click on a link, which is the click-through rate. So our open mail rate is 140% for that email that was sent out to 25,000 people, which the reason is that there were an additional 7,000 forwards of that email. And there were only 25 unsubscribed from that. So, and the top click-through was for the pamphlet for our program that was linked from the email. So we got so many calls and emails after that. Jennifer was going crazy the next day because people were responding right away. And I can give you an example for the transition assistance referrals. So for the brief counseling sessions and the career counseling sessions, January, there were 24 referrals, February 28, March 14, April 17, May 37, June, after this was sent, 145. So really dramatic difference.
Can I give a little background on why I did what I did or tried to implement this? So as you know, the law students a lot of law students have been very stressed out because of the July bar exam being at first, way back when COVID first hit, nobody knew what was going to happen with the July bar exam. And then when they found out that it wasn't going to happen in July, it's right now set up for September or October. I just got literally a lot of people on my personal social media, just a lot of people contacting me saying, oh my, law students, that they were so stressed out about what was going on. And so I figured a lot of law students and bar applicants are very, very stressed and dealing with all this. So I was trying to figure out a way, how can we get the word out to everybody, even though we've been doing a lot of social media with the Office of Communications. They've been wonderful with helping me with social media posts to Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So I thought, well, if we can get the word out to every single law student and bar applicant in California, they'll know about our services. And it took a lot of coordination between our office, the Office of Communications, and admissions. But with a lot of work and a lot of teamwork, we were finally able to do it. And it was such a great success. I mean, I can't tell you how many people were so thankful that this email went out. And now that they know about our services, what I propose is that we do this at least twice a year to let all law students and bar applicants know about it. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
That's great.
Great job.
Thank you. And like I said, it was a lot of teamwork with Jennifer and Matt answering the phones. And I think that was one thing that we kind of forgot about, was like, oh, well, what if all those people call us? How are we going to handle it? So we'll be better prepared next time. But again, it was just, you know, getting the word out and letting people know about our services was the main goal there.
And we did handle it this time with everybody who called. It was a lot of work, and some of the people we had to respond and say, thank you for your email. We'll get back to you with a referral tomorrow or next day or something if we weren't able to find individual referrals right away. But we got to everybody, and all the people who I sent email like that to were very, seemed very positive about it and pleasant, and no problem. Thanks for the attention. I appreciate the services here. Things like that. So I think it was really great. I know Lita is a better cheerleader at expressing how great it was than I am. So thank you for chiming in. And actually, Lita, why don't you just continue with talking about the outreach? Because I know the committee, as part of our recent developments, would also be interested to hear about what has happened with your presentation since you're not able to go in person. That was the last thing that occurred in terms of updates about your presentations, is that people were canceling.
Lita, just before you start, it looked like Kelly maybe had a question for us.
Yeah. Michelle, were you able to give referrals to all the calls that came in, or were there any law students that were unable to get referrals?
We got referrals to everybody. They weren't all calling for the types of like extensive LAP services, so it wasn't the issue of saying that there were people, you know, out of the country who couldn't attend group, but we even got calls from people out of the country, out of the state. And so we were at least able to connect them with either a clinical rehabilitation coordinator who could talk with them, or the career counselors. Unfortunately, we couldn't refer them to therapists if they're not California residents, because the therapists don't want to risk their licenses by practicing outside their jurisdiction. But we were able to provide something at least.
Excellent. Thank you.
So as far as the outreach, at the beginning of the year, January, February, I was right on track to hit all the goals as far as law schools and bar associations, law firms, and so forth. And then when COVID hit, I had a lot of presentations scheduled. When COVID hit, I had already 15 that canceled, and most of those were law schools that canceled on me. But as of today's date, I have been able to conduct 32 presentations, and out of those, 15 were to bar associations, 6 were to law firms, 4 to law schools, and 7 were to government agencies. And I have 8 presentations that are scheduled to be conducted throughout the end of the year. But of course, I'm still going to be working to conduct more. The law schools right now, though, are very difficult because of the fact that so many people are focused on this September, October bar exam. That's kind of like the #1 issue right now. Somebody's got their TV on or something. Okay, thank you. And so right now, the law schools, they don't know if they're going to be in person, online, a combination of both, just like kind of the dialogue that was being discussed prior. So right now, if I contact the law schools, it's like that's not going to be their #1 concern. So I'm trying to give them a little bit more time before I go back to conducting more outreach to the law schools. But as far as law firms and bar associations, I'm getting a lot of requests, and because we have Zoom, we have WebEx, we have all these different platforms that people are using now, which I've had to learn how to do those. On my presentations, I'm still able to conduct the outreach to them. So that is going well. So that's basically, oh, and I also sent out the quarterly newsletter that we sent out to attorneys. I worked with the Office of Communications and I think it was Office of Admissions on that. So our services also went out to every single attorney, and as a matter of fact, all of you should have received that in your quarterly newsletter. It was all the way down at the bottom, but at least it went out so that people are getting every quarter now information about the services we can offer to them. So that was one other thing we did too. That was another success, because we did have a lot of inquiries after that newsletter went out. So that's all I have to update right now.
Yes. I think that was it for me, Justin, on those two. Shall I move on to the fee bill update? Anybody have any other questions so far about recent developments or the COVID updates?
I'd like to make a comment, Jim Heiding, and that is, I think that you're doing a really good job with what we have to work with and under the current circumstances. I really appreciate the outreach, Lita. That's really good. I appreciate it very much. And Michelle, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I second that. This is Stephanie. And I want to know, do you feel that particularly the bar associations and law firms have been pretty receptive to the new medium being used now that everything is pretty much virtual in light of COVID?
Are you asking me how they have accommodated to it? If so, yes. It's kind of like this is the way of the world right now. This is how everybody is communicating, and people are getting accustomed to it. And it's really the only way we can communicate. We can't communicate in person anymore. We can't have in-person presentations. And as a matter of fact, we're still having conferences, and I just got an invitation to be a speaker at one of the big conferences that's going to be held nationally. And all they did was change the date, but they're still going to have it. So everybody's finding ways of continuing on with educating and informing others of the services that they provide and continuing education and so forth, MCLEs. So it's just something that everybody now has to accept, because it's a way of life, and it's going to be a way of life until we get back to normal.
Michelle, this is Judge Purcell. May I make a comment and ask a question?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you, Lita. I just wanted to tell you that since I haven't been in a meeting in a while, I am just completely amazed at the terrific job you're doing, and to hear you detail all of this and all these people that you're reaching. As you might remember, when you very first came, it was such a huge task, and you've really, it sounds like you've reached a lot of people, and I'm really encouraged that that this has occurred. My question is, my question is, outside of the whole COVID thing, have people been sort of welcoming to you to have the presentations, whether it's bar associations or law schools, or have you had to kind of push your way in? Where does it stand with these organizations wanting you to come in?
With attorneys, as far as bar associations, law firms, government agencies, they are, the first thing they say to me is, why haven't you been out here before? Why hasn't anybody told us about this? How come we don't know? I've been practicing for 20 years, never heard of LAP. And I'm like, oh my God, it's on the back of your bar card. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I've only been in LAP for 2 years, but they love these presentations and they want more of it. So it's, they're welcoming with open arms. Law schools are a different source. It's just very hard to get my foot in the door. It's not that they don't want me or they don't want the information. It's just that they're so busy. They have so many things that they have to teach the students. You know, they have strict schedules. And so it's trying to find that time to, you know, that hour to get me in there, or 45 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever it is. And usually it's, well, we're not going to put you in during class time, so we'll let you come an hour before class starts. And if they want to get here an hour, if the students want to get here an hour early, they can. It's up to them. But usually the only way they can get the students to come an hour early is if there's food. And then they'll ask me, is the State Bar going to provide the food? And I'm like, no, sorry, you know, that's not something we do. So then it's like, oh, well, now we have to provide the food too. So the law schools have been difficult. That's my biggest challenge. But as far as attorneys, bar associations, everything else, it has been wonderful. They love it. They want more.
Well, thank you very much for that, all your work and for that feedback.
Thank you, Judge Purcell. I appreciate it.
Justin, shall I move on to the fee bill update?
Yes, please. Unless anyone else had anything on the previous items we've been discussing, outreach, some of our increased activity in participation, it sounds like, which is awesome. It's great to hear. I think we can move on to the fee bill update.
Okay. So this is the last information that I had was from last week, and I actually think this is probably out of date already because of COVID and people in the legislature being exposed. But the last I had officially heard was that the fee bill moved from the Assembly to the Senate, and we were anticipating it would be heard in July, which will not still happen. So the Senate goes into recess on July 2nd, but plans to return on the 13th. So we'll see if they are back on the 13th and are able to hear the State Bar fee bill. For the LAP part of it, the part that affects us directly, of course, is our funding. And if you remember last year's fee bill, which was the funding for this year, 2020, we have a fee holiday, so we were not collecting any money. We were just functioning on our reserves for this year of 2020. This year's bill does not have the fee holiday in it. The expectation is starting back in 2021, we will go back to being able to have the $10 from active licensees and $5 from inactive licensees. Additionally, it will still include in there the $1 of those 10 that goes to the other bar.
Just real quick, the legislators will go back on the 27th of July with basically a month to get all their work done.
So I don't know how much attention we're going to get. Everybody's going to be very busy, but I think that's why the fee bill is pretty simple this year. We're just going back to, at least for the LAP, and our funding is business as usual.
Any questions from anyone regarding fee bill, budget, anything like that? All right. Next is the attorney supervision and assistance redesign project update. And that, I think that's you, Lori, right?
Yes.
All right.
So just to give you a brief overview, I mentioned it a little bit at our last meeting, but we have what we're calling our attorney supervision and assistance redesign project going. And really what that is focusing on is redesigning how probation is done at the State Bar. Currently, it's a self-rehabilitative model. You're put on probation, and the Office of Probation just makes sure that you're complying with all of the conditions. If you don't comply, then you're reported for violating your probation. What we're trying to move to is more of a evidence-based practice model like they use in criminal probation. We have a consultant that we're working with who is a probation officer, and trying to have move to a setting where the conditions are more tailored to the needs of the individual respondent. And the hope is that if we can give a little more personalized attention to the respondents, that we can hopefully prevent recidivism. And so as part of that, one of the things that we're looking at doing is creating possibly a collaborative court. And it's one of the items that's in our attorney supervision and assistance redesign plan, which I believe we sent out to everybody after the last meeting. So hopefully you received that. That would try and mirror some of the ways that collaborative courts are done out in the criminal world in different counties, with a specialized team that focuses on those respondents who qualify for this sort of special sort of diversion program. All of that would need to be created. What are our qualifications for becoming part of that? What the team would look like, and how we would get around some of the hurdles we have that like a superior court doesn't have. For example, our respondents there's no appointed counsel for us, right? So there would be respondents who aren't represented, whereas in the superior court setting, you would have everybody have representation. So there's some things that need to be worked out. That piece of the attorney supervision and assistance redesign plan, we haven't put too much focus on yet, because we're trying to get the pieces done that really just focus on the respondents who are going through probation without maybe some of the issues that the people who would go through this collaborative court model have. So we're trying to organize that piece of it first and get the process all in place. And then we're going to be focusing on the collaborative court piece a little bit further down the way. And at that time, we'll be bringing ideas and asking for input from this committee, because we think that you'll have some great input for us on ways that we can make this a good workable program to really try and help the respondents that need it.
How far out are you, is the implementation date?
So we had originally been hoping to maybe have some implementation by maybe the fall of this year, and we're still hopefully looking toward that, but things have just, as I'm sure everybody knows, it's just taking a little longer in this day and age, and being able to get everything through that we're going to need. There's just for the probation piece, there's going to be a lot of rule changes that are needed, and those kinds of things have to go through, you know, all kinds of different layers of review to make sure that we get everything just right. So we're probably not looking at getting too much into the collaborative court piece to really start looking at it, I'd say, until maybe the end of the year, to get more focused on that again, and start really looking at what we might design for that going forward. Does anybody have any more questions? Yes. Jim?
Jim Heiding. I looked through the ASAR pamphlet, and as you know, that I was on the Board of Governors in 2002 to 2006, president in 2005-06, and it was an honor to work with the beginning of the LAP program at that point in time. Michelle, you were there, were you not, at that time?
I started in 2006.
Okay. And so one of the things that we really wanted was a diversion program. We really tried to work on that diversion program, and the drug court model that you're talking about, or that you're implying. And so it's really, I think, very wonderful to see that this is coming to fruition, that drug court model is going to be a part of the state bar. I hope that it's created that way. But I do want to say that I do have some concerns as I look through the paperwork, that this is rolling along and we don't have even one person from the Oversight Committee. I know we have many staff members that participate, but no Oversight Committee member at all is a part of this planning process or a part of this ASAR project right now. And I'm concerned with that. I think that we should have some Oversight Committee member involved in that, at least one. And because one of the things that we talk about in the ASAR is require input and approval from outside and agencies and oversight entities, including public, and this is amazing to me, public, Board of Trustees, State Supreme Court, and others, but it never even mentions the LAP Oversight Committee. And so I'm a little jealous of our role, I think, and our budget, and I think that we should be a part of that. And I would hope that we would be invited to the table and be invited to start this planning and be a part of the planning from the very beginning. There are some other concerns I have, but really they have to do with the voluntary stuff and the split of the voluntary compared to the mandatory, the court's involvement in probation versus the voluntary, the budget issues as to now we have how many staff people working on this program and working with probation on this? 6, maybe? Are there 6 members of our staff, our LAP staff working
LAP
with
staff or state bar staff?
Pardon? That's what I mean, state bar staff. But part of that's our budget, right? It goes out.
So some of it is covered by the Office of Probation's budget and some by LAP. We've been looking at how much of each piece of the project affects the LAP side of things, to make determinations on how to divide up the budget. So we've been looking into that as we move forward.
I know that's a difficult thing. That's a difficult process to pick and choose what gets applied to whom. But that'll also be a process that we'll be concerned with, because when we split, when and if we split the voluntary process to the mandatory process, and the voluntary goes off maybe to the CLA or to a different body or some other way, they're going to want to know what their budget is and how much their planning can take, what they can plan. And mandatory will be taking some of the money and applying it to the probationary practices. And so the final thing I wanted to mention is, I don't understand quite, and I'm asking, of course, maybe you've discussed it many times before, but I don't know it. The LAP's role in this. What is the role of the LAP counselors, the LAP Oversight Committee? What is your anticipation for the role before we move into the collaborative court? The collaborative court, I think, is a great thing. I can't wait for that to happen, but until that happens, I'm just wondering what our role is. So thank you.
Well, sure. Thank you, Jim. I think that we certainly did not mean to be excluding, the LAP Oversight Committee in this, and we've been working with Michelle really closely and her staff on brainstorming as we move forward on this whole process. So we've been sort of using Michelle as our LAP resource, and we were thinking that really the best role for the LAP Oversight Committee is on that collaborative court process, because really the majority of the people who are on probation, they don't have LAP type issues. So we're kind of, we're creating the process for your respondent who got into trouble for, not managing his practice properly and maybe taking client funds. That person doesn't have any issues that affect the LAP side of things. He's just going straight on the probation. His case will go through state bar court. He'll be given the conditions of probation, and he'll be monitored by the Office of Probation. What we anticipate seeing as LAP as a resource for us on this is for us to try and, as we move forward, to use the resources that LAP has and the knowledge of the staff to help us identify if there are people that do have issues that maybe would make them qualify for LAP, and for some reason maybe they're not getting identified as they're going through the process. In our new probation process, when the respondent is being interviewed, if we find that there are some clues there that this person might have a mental health or substance use issue, then what we want to be able to do is to use the resources of LAP and refer that person for an evaluation, if not by LAP, if they have a recommendation of outside expert that should do it for us, so that we can then try and find out if we can help that person through the process. Was the underlying cause of their discipline problem really maybe a mental health or substance use issue, and for some reason it wasn't identified as they went through the discipline process. And maybe as they're getting to know their probation officer and working through that process, things are identified that we realize we might be able to get them help. So what we want to do is use our LAP as a resource. We've also been working with them to help us come up with what some of the types of interventions we might be able to use for those respondents who do have mental health and substance use issues. So we've been working with them really as a as some experts for us in the field of those areas, so that we can try and work into our system a way that we can identify people who will need their help. But in terms of overall how this program will affect LAP or at least the respondents who will be using LAP, that piece really won't come up as much until we get more into that collaborative court piece. Because again, even though we hope that we might be able to identify more people who might need LAP services and try and get them the help they need, for the most part, the respondents who are going to be using the services of just probation, they're not the people who also cross over with LAP. So we're trying to lay the foundations first for the typical respondent who's on probation, and then branch out more into seeing how we'll be able to help those who do have the issues that need to be dealt with on the LAP side, and create our court from there, and move forward with input, hopefully from all of you. And we're working with the State Bar Court on this, and with their courts, their attorney on special projects, to try and get all these pieces working together. There's a lot of different pieces on this that we're trying to create. And so, like I said, we just haven't really got to that collaborative court piece yet until we get the foundations of the regular probation, if you will, laid out first.
Okay, well,
Can I ask a question?
Pardon?
Yes. I think Kelly's.
Yeah, is there a person from the mental health community on this project?
So far, it's really just the State Bar staff, and we use our CRCs and Michelle's expertise on this to give us some ideas for moving forward, but we don't have in particular somebody who is a mental health expert. I don't know, Michelle, any of your CRCs have in particular expertise in that area?
Well, the CRCs are all licensed mental health clinicians of some sort of license. Same with myself. I don't think we have any outside stakeholders involved yet at this point, right, Lauren? Except for maybe Brian, who's contracted with the project manager.
Right.
So I guess this would be my concern, and I would mention this as both a peer and someone who has mental illness and someone who's from the mental health community, is that if you are speaking about analyzing and diverting someone with mental illness, it's very important to have a member of the mental health community as part of that discussion. Because simply because someone has a mental illness or might be a member of the mental health community may or may not be related to the fact that they have committed a State Bar violation. So it would be improper to divert them into what is essentially a disciplinary process simply because they have an identified mental health issue. So I would encourage the State Bar to ensure that there's a member of the mental health community at the table in these discussions. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
I would agree with that. The last thing I wanted to say is that I noticed in the description of the ADJOURN program, it says attorney supervision and assistance redesign will provide a framework for system change intended to improve performance in rehabilitation, which is excellent. The Office of Probation and the Lawyer Assistance Program will be collapsed into a single entity. That's very concerning to me if there's nobody from the Oversight Committee that's trying to determine how that single entity looks like other than staff members. So I would suggest, I'm just making a suggestion, that there be a liaison that would be part of the organizational group that forms the Attorney Supervision and Assistance Redesign that comes from the Oversight Committee.
So I think some of that language was from the discussions that were held with the previous LAPOC committee about separating the voluntary and mandatory parts of LAP. And then I think you alluded to before, the idea was to spin off the voluntary side possibly to like CLA or something like that. That, even though it's still in discussion, is something that it looks like won't happen through the year 2021, because the fee bill this year did not include any provisions to spin off LAP. So for now, LAP is continuing to essentially run the same way it has, just with the division of making sure that we know which cases go to the CRCs who handle the mandatory side of things, those who come through the court or who are referrals for moral character through admissions, and then the voluntary side where they're the people who obviously just come on their own to the bar. So that split has been made so that we can kind of monitor who's on which side of things. But in terms of continuing to spin off the voluntary side, that is on hold right now, although we'll probably be in discussions maybe in the future.
Okay.
So that, I think, is what that was referring to in terms of collapsing it into one. We've really just moved the mandatory side over to work more closely with probation, but they still are doing their same work the same way they are always have.
All right, well, I'll take a risk and I'll make a motion that we appoint a liaison from the Oversight Committee to work as part of the attorney supervision and assistance redesign development.
I'd like to support that motion, but amend it to include that Mr. Hiding be the person appointed.
Oh, no, I don't know about that.
I can't think of someone more qualified.
I would second both the motion and second the amendment.
Thank you both.
I did have one more question, and I'm not, and maybe I didn't hear it. So I know part of the discussions about separating the different functions of the Lawyer Assistance Program, voluntary and mandatory, was the elimination of the Lawyer Assistance Program Oversight Committee. Is that something that's still on the table as well? Because I think one of Mr. Hiding's questions was, you know, what is going to be our continued role after 2021, considering that, you know, any legislation that would affect the structure of the program couldn't be approved probably until next year. Is there going to be a role? I mean, this is a question, I think a fair question for all the members to know, especially for, we have another item on our agenda for planning purposes. You know, is there going to be a role for us? And if so, what?
So I think, Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong, but the discussions in the past few years about separating the voluntary and mandatory and then spitting voluntary off did include, at that point, if the bar was no longer running the voluntary side of things, then the bar would no longer have an LAP oversight committee, because there wasn't really an LAP to oversee anymore. The mandatory side would be something changed into something sort of different. So the idea would be, if they were at CLA, perhaps there would be some sort of committee on that end to help oversee the program. So if after 2021, if the idea is to still spin off the voluntary side, then I think the idea would also be to have the committee no longer exist in terms of working with the state bar as an organization. But that's all part of, it would all have to be done by statutory change. And so that will all have to be looked at as the bar sets its legislative agenda next year. Dag, do you, I think you work sometimes on that. Do you work on that side of things? Is that how you would see it?
That's correct. I do work on some of the legislative liaison stuff, and there's nothing on the agenda this year, and it's not going to happen this year, obviously. So anything that would happen would have to be in next year's legislative session.
So while I appreciate it's kind of hard to plan, and I know the LAP has been sort of in this waiting mode for a few years now, we're hoping to just go ahead and plan as if you're staying, because at least we want to keep working through this year and through next year on whatever good programs you can do, whatever outreach you can do, whatever ideas you have for ways that we can continue to improve LAP, and then see what happens in 2021 with that. So that's why we do have items on there for you to start, you know, a work plan, and to see how people think that they can, the ways that we can better improve the work that LAP does. And then we'll have to see what the future holds. I don't think that I can give more guarantees than that.
So based on that, I would just say I think it's even more imperative that we have a representative working on this project, considering that, you know, the committee may or may not have an additional input after 2022. So that's all I have to say on that. I know we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, Jennifer, could you call the roll?
Okay. Justin Delacruz,
Aye.
Tracy,
Aye.
James,
Aye.
Kelly,
Aye.
Stephanie,
Aye.
Martin.
Aye.
Okay.
Motion passes. So what is the mechanism for us to have more of a voice, to get Mr. Heiding to kind of share our voice on this project?
I will raise it with the current group that's working on the ASTAR project, and we'll see how we can incorporate him into our work so that LAP feels that they have more of a voice. And I will get back to you after I talk to the group.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. The next item is discussion regarding the financial assistance program. Maybe Michelle, you could kind of give some of our newer members kind of an overview of, you know, what our financial assistance program is and kind of some of the criteria that we apply.
Sure. Basically, it's a loan, and it can cover the LAP group fees, and it can cover the drug testing fees, drug and alcohol testing fees. It's hard to get out of my lexicon to say urine testing, so it's not all urine testing anymore, but any of the substance testing fees. So we have some criteria. There's a working group, which now has been Justin and Dr. Phil Spiegel from the Oversight Committee. We're the working group who approve the financial assistance application. So it's this committee technically that approves any of the applications. There's an application that the participants need to fill out, and they need to include a tax return from the previous year. And then there's some criteria that we have of at different levels of income. You would be eligible for 100% assistance, or 50% or 25% assistance. And it can last for a year or for however long. If they use up that amount of assistance sooner, they could, it can expire before a year. I'm trying to see where it says the time frame. Well, regardless, we can find that out if you need. But basically, it doesn't cover every single thing that we ask participants to do. So somebody might have on their monitoring plan that they need to go to a treatment program, which of course would be very expensive. The financial assistance doesn't cover that. The loan only covers the part that we're in control of, basically, what the fees are and paying them. The participants don't actually get cash from us. They get an email or a letter from Jennifer that lets them know what they've been approved for, and then FS Solutions for the testing or the group facilitators for the group fees, they bill us directly. So, and the number of applications that we have is not huge. For this year, we've had 6 applications. 2 of them are not yet complete. They might end up being completed, but at this time they're not. And so we've had 4, all 4 of them were approved. Does that cover the information?
Yeah, and so I asked for this item to be placed on the agenda. So, you know, a number of us probably anticipate that there may be a number of people who may be out of work, who may need services, who may need help. We've seen a flood of phone calls for our transition assistance services. I'm hoping that translates, well, I don't know. I'm hoping it translates to increase use of our program, but also I hope that many people aren't sick and needing help. So it's a double-edged sword. So part of the reason why I wanted to put this on the agenda was, one, we do have a policy and there are some documentation requirements which may or may not really be up to date. So that's something I'd potentially like us to look at. And then secondly is that I've been serving on the committee for the last 5 years, and I think it would be fair to pass it on to one of our newer members if they're interested. I'd be happy to step aside and let them get that experience. So those are the two reasons why I brought that and put that on the agenda. And it's my understanding that changing the policy would be a lot more legwork, but changing the makeup of the subcommittee or working group would really only require board approval. I'm not going to speak for Philip, but I will speak for myself. I'm happy to step aside and let someone else join and do this work. So with that, I'll ask if anyone wants to serve that role or step in. And I was voluntold to do this, so don't make me do that.
Michelle or Justin, maybe you could let me know. I mean, Justin, is this done through meetings? Is it done all through emails? How is the work handled?
Usually what happens is I get an email from Jennifer with an application that's redacted. And the working group has to be 2 so we don't violate open meeting rules. There's a recommendation that's provided. There's a policy that we have. And for the most part, it's I don't think I've once told Jennifer no on the recommendation. So, the work is pretty much done for you. You're just double checking it. So it's not a huge, exertion of your time, but I think it is also helpful to see, and it puts you more in connection with some of our participants. So I really like that, having been a participant. So
I'll volunteer.
Thank you, Kelly. That's excellent. Does this require some kind of board action, or can I merely just accept his volunteering?
I think it's just executive order of the chair, right?
Well,
Dag, maybe you
Why
know.
not?
I think it is only up to this committee to decide who is on that working group. So if everyone agrees amongst themselves, I think that's sufficient. But I don't think it went to the board or anyplace else when.
Well, I'll just, for sake of being complete and comprehensive, I'll move that Kelly replace me on the financial assistance subcommittee.
I'll second that.
And Jennifer, please call the roll.
Justin?
Aye.
Tracy?
Aye.
James?
Aye.
Kelly?
Aye.
Stephanie?
Aye.
Martin?
Aye.
Okay.
Thanks so much, Kelly. I'm appreciative of you stepping up. And then with respect to the policy, I'm not sure what's involved with kind of updating the policy.
So I can tell you, and of course we'll get this information to you, Kelly, but it's basically a family of 2 earning X amount would be eligible for 100% assistance. If they earn above that amount, 50%, a family of 3 to 5 earning X amount. So it's just a formula in that way. And that is something that the bar has talked about, at least that I've heard from management. Perhaps Lori or Doug knows more about this, but the bar is looking at implementing a financial assistance criteria bar-wide, which we would then be included under. So I don't know if it's, if it would be a good use of our time to create our own policy and then have the board cancel it out in order to make us part of the one state bar. Or if somebody feels like it would be worthwhile to take a look at that again, regardless of what's happening at the rest
I'm happy to take a look at it.
Yeah, I just suggest, as these come in, think about how we can make I mean, make it easier for people to apply and get an accurate assessment of their need. Because some of our requirements require, one of the requirements is a tax return. Now, last year, if you were solo last year, you're doing fine. But this year, maybe, you're not doing so hot because your practice has slowed down a bit. So just things like that.
I have a quick question. Are the financial requirements the same for law students as they are for attorneys?
The standard is the same for everybody. It's actually, it's new for students because law students weren't eligible until last year, I guess. But now that they're eligible, yeah, it's the same criteria.
That might be something people might want to think about, because law students obviously don't make as much money as attorneys do, and they need as much help, if now more than ever, with everything that's going on.
I agree about law students, but by the time lawyers get to where they get, they're pretty down on their luck too.
So just a few things to think about, and Michelle or Jennifer can get you the policy, Kelly, and maybe a sample application just to kind of get you going.
Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
We can also get an update on what's happening with the bar-wide policy on things like fee waivers and scaling and things like that, so that we make sure that we're not doing work that maybe is already being done somewhere else. And if the considerations about LAP aren't part of the bar-wide policy, which I think they have been, because I know Michelle is aware of that, but we make sure that they are aware of the concerns of the committee in creating that bar-wide policy.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lori. So the last two items relate to goal planning for the remainder of 2020 and I guess 2021 for now. And Michelle had mentioned that we are hitting the end of our strategic plan, which I think, Dag, you helped us create. So that's great that you're here. But we're nearing. You're on mute.
That's a blast from the past. Seems like a lifetime ago.
So we were talking about maybe updating that strategic plan. And actually, I don't know if all the members have it.
It is on the website. If you don't happen to have it in front of you, then you can go to our page. Let me see. If you go to the State Bar homepage, the easiest way, I think, to find the LAP portion of it is just to go to the magnifying glass in the upper right corner and put in LAP, and it will search LAP, and the first thing that comes up as a keyword match is, click on that, will take you to the Lawyer Assistance Program page that gives you all the information about our services and things like that. And then
I'll try to make create a link in the chat. I'll work on that.
Okay.
So
then if you click on Oversight Committee under additional information, it's the Lawyer Assistance Program Strategic Plan 2017 to 2020. And actually it is not in the title, but in the cover of it, it's from March 2017 to March of 2020, which we have now passed. So yeah, it is time to look at this again.
Yeah. So I know there are a number of things. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just included a link to it in the chat. If it doesn't work for anyone, let me know and I can email it to you.
So there were a number of items that we have actually accomplished. And I just wanted to open it up to the board to see if they had anything they wanted to add to it, or maybe we're not ready and maybe this should be an item for the next meeting, but maybe we could take the next, I don't know, quarter to figure out and provide some suggestions and really focus on creating a strategic plan, at least for the remainder of 2020, which would be basically a quarter, and then for 2021, what kinds of actions or programs or resources we want to do or create. Obviously, one of the huge successes of that strategic plan was our outreach and hiring of Lita and all that. I mean, that's huge success. Like that's, I mean, we're getting a ton of engagement. So that's like a gigantic win. So maybe we could create something like that, at least for 2021, something that we could implement pretty quickly, I think would be great. So maybe we could just table those two items, but maybe we all could go, and if we could, I don't know if you can do this, but send an email or a link to all of us so that we also have it in our email, and over the next couple months, individually go through it and see what kind of programs or ideas we have. And then the next meeting, we can maybe dedicate a significant portion to strategic planning for the next year.
Michelle, you also have the information on, or is it already in there? I was just glancing at it, like what has been completed that you've already done, or do you have that in a separate document?
It's not, right, it's not in the strategic plan. I do have that separately. That has been, it'll take me a minute to find the link, but we have talked about it in previous oversight committee meetings. So that document is in our archives somewhere. If we were to pull up the old meetings and the agenda, it would be attached to those old agendas. But I can also find that, and then I'll have Jennifer include that when she sends out the whole strategic.
Yeah, that'd be very useful. That way we know what we've done and have it. I don't know. That's all that's on the agenda. I didn't know if anyone else had any additional thoughts on the strategic plan or anything else that was on our agenda. Any further thoughts? If not, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
Nobody wants to go.
This is the only outside human interaction we've been having today. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Hi.
All right, the meeting is adjourned. It's great to see your faces, and it's great to be on a call with you all. I hope you're all safe. Do we need to set up the next meeting, or are you going to do a doodle?
We'll do a doodle. It'll
Okay.
be in about 3 months.
September?
Yeah,
October?
like generally it has been this time of day that works for everybody, Friday afternoons around 2 o'clock. So
Yeah.
we'll send out a doodle for 3 months, a few dates and times.
Great.
Michelle, this is Judge Purcell. Could you send me, you don't need to send me the doodle poll, but could you send me the date that you get the meeting for, if you would permit me to attend again then as invitee?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Here.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks all.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Everyone.
Bye.